Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. How are you doing today? I hope you're as excited as I am. I am enjoying the Advent calendar creation. I hope you are enjoying the opening of all of your Advent calendar gifts every day. At the end, I'll be asking what was your favorite from this week. So the last live video, we only got to open 2 gifts together. But today, we get to open 7. So hopefully you're excited to see what I create with the Advent calendar gifts. I've been having so much fun. Right up to the last minute I've been creating this morning because the ideas, they just keep coming. So anybody else have those times where you do one thing and then you're like, oh, I should do this, or oh, I could try this. So that was kind of my last minute things. I had a few other things pop into my head. So hopefully I've got lots of inspiration to show you. I know these items might seem tiny. They fit in that little bag, but they have so many things you can do with them. So sometimes the best things come in small packages. So as you are hopping on today, say hello. I would love to connect with you and see who's out there watching. So no silent watchers. Who's joining in today? Anybody joining in who didn't purchase the Advent calendar and is just maybe here to see some inspiration or check out the contents? I'm glad you're here too. Hopefully that'll give you a good idea of what our Advent calendar is like in case you want to purchase one next year if you missed out on this year's. So good morning, Lisa. Hi, Gina. Jamie's here. Bright and early on your day off, right? Hello, Sharon and Robin up in Wisconsin. Awesome. I heard I'm feeling pretty good about being in the southern part of Iowa today. It is raining here, but it's about 35 degrees, so not quite snow, but I did hear that up north they are getting quite a bit of snow and ice and all that good stuff. So hopefully y'all are staying warm wherever you are. Hi, Angie. And Joan's here. Hi, Sandy. Awesome. Deb's here from Northern California. Ooh, big snow and rain coming in for you guys. That's fun, kind of. Fun times to stay inside. Hopefully you don't have to shovel it all. All right, before we get started on the Advent calendar, we talked about this a little bit last week, but I wanted to give you guys a heads up that our Stamp Joy virtual event, we will have registration launching on December 15th. So the event is March 10th and 11th. It is also available on the website, so you can go check out all the details of Stamp Joy Virtual. If you have not been a part of it before, it is a 1 or 2 day event. So the way that it works is you can sign up for our Saturday event that includes 10 projects. So we'll do 7 craft along sessions and you'll end up with 10 completed projects. That happens on Saturday the 11th. And then if you choose, you can add on the extra class that happens on Friday. We have a morning session and we have an afternoon session. And with that class, you get expert instruction from our teachers this year. You can go read about who will be teaching this year and what the class will be all about. That is all on the landing page. So if you go to tailoredexpressions.com and you click on Connect with Us at the top, you'll see the Stamp Joy Virtual 2023. So you can check out all the details there and get yourself ready to register on the 15th of December. So our registration will only go through December 31st. So you don't have a ton of time to decide whether you want to join in the fun, but hopefully you can get those dates on your calendar and be ready to sign up. It's a really good time. So in addition to the products that you need to create these projects, you also get a goodie bag with many exclusive items in it. And we do a fun unboxing event so that you can see everything that you're going to get. And yeah, it's just a lot of fun. Fun way to connect even from a distance. So, all right, we are going to get to crafting and opening our little gifts. So I will pull up the screen so you guys can look down at my tabletop, and we're going to take a look at gifts number 3 through 9. Exciting. Hello, I'll say hi to a few more people. Hi, Deborah. And Cindy's here, and Lisa. Oh, good. Lisa's excited about Stamp Joy Virtual. Yes, it is super fun. And it looks like Charlie put up that link so you guys with number 3. We're going to go through and open them all, and then I have my crafty stuff spread out all over the table, and I'm going to show you some different ideas for how to use the products. We really tried to come up with things that coordinate with each other, so you're not just getting random bits and pieces that you don't know what to do with. So hopefully you find all of these little gifts useful in your collection, both now and throughout the rest of the new year. All right, so we've got number 3. We have a little thing, a little insert in this particular piece that tells you what this is for. Make your own envelope seals. Sharing Joy just got more personal. You can use these 2-inch sticker circles with our Share Joy stamp or any of your own stamps to create your own envelope seals. As you know, Share Joy is something that we are very passionate about at Tailored Expressions, how you use your gifts and your talents and your time and your supplies to create projects that share joy with the people in your lives. So hopefully those will be fun. You get 8 envelope seals or 8 stickers to create into envelope seals in these 4 pretty pastel colors. So that is number 3, and we'll talk some more about that later. I'm going to show you my envelope seals that I stamped and created, and then we'll do a few here on the live as well. All right, number 4. Oh, good. It's so fun to see so many people who wouldn't miss the event and love Virtual Stamp Joy. It really is a great time. Susan and I have been working hard on the projects for the Saturday portion, and the exclusive products that you get when you sign up for the class. Heather illustrated those, and you are going to love them. So that, yeah, we'll have more coming up for that. So number 4, we have a fun little clear stamp set that's called Dinky Decorations. And I think I like the name almost as much as the stamp set. Let's put it down here so you can see a little bit better what that artwork is if I get in close here. We're going to use this today, but ultimately this was designed to stamp on your envelopes, to do a little bit of envelope decor. But I'm going to show you an idea a little bit later on how to use these stamps to make a card. So these are your hanging strips, and then you can put the small icons at the end of them depending on what the theme of your card is. There are so many different icons. We've got little half moons, we have a rainbow, a flower, an ornament for Christmas. We have snowflake and a cloud, a star, and a little leaf. So if you wanted to turn these on their ends and make them into stems instead of hanging strings, you could do that. And then we have a heart as well, which will be perfect for Valentine's Day coming up. So that is Dinky Decorations. Super cute. All right, next up, number 5. Has anybody used any of their advent calendar stuff lately? I think I challenged everyone on the last live to post your projects to our fan page if you're using any of these advent calendar items. We'd love to see what you create. All right, number 5, we have some holiday themed washi tape. So I'm going to get this out and show you what it looks like. I've got my roll over here. It's a fun Christmas tree design. It's a little bit translucent, but when you put it down on white paper, you can see that it looks beautifully kind of a pale pink color, almost a pink champagne. Now, if you have a stencil of ours, it's called Folksy Furs. This artwork was taken from the Folksy Furs stencil, so that could be a fun one to combine if you're looking to make a card that uses some washi tape, or I prefer to use washi tape often on my envelopes, so I will seal it with a little bit of washi tape and then put an envelope seal in the middle just to dress up my envelope a little bit more. So there you have the holiday washi tape. Oh, Vivian says, I thought the hangy thing was to write a little journaling on. Well, you could do that too. Yeah, typically if you're going to write journaling, you might want all of your lines the same length, but you could definitely do that for sure. All right, washi tape. Yes, Lisa used the washi tape on her envelopes. Good. All right, and Gail says she has an alarm set on her phone to register the minute Stamp Joy Virtual becomes available. Awesome. Love to hear that. Okay, what are we on now? Number 6. I just realized from my last minute crafting that I left the cap off my glue, so I'm feverishly trying to cap my glue before it dries out. That is totally a Taylor move. Sometimes when I craft with Susan, she just spends most of her day making sure that I have capped my glue. So, all right, number 6. I'm failing today at pulling these off nicely, but hopefully you guys are able to do that in case you want to reuse the bags. So who is familiar with See's Candy? Any of my Californians? This is something that I discovered when I lived in California, See's Candies. Of course, they're all over the nation, so it's not just a California thing, but this is one of my favorites, the vanilla lollipop. And I think some people might have gotten butterscotch. I feel like there were a couple different flavors, but this one that I have in my hands is vanilla. And it is one of my favorite suckers. So don't try to chew it though. I know it seems like a piece of nougat candy, but it really is a sucker. Don't chomp on it with your teeth until it gets really soft way at the end of the process. All right, so that was number 6, a fun little treat while you're crafting. Number 7. Yes. Carrie says, my kids begged for me to share. That's funny. And Jamie, you recognize my inner Californian. I know, I do miss my California. Mostly the beautiful weather and not the traffic. And my friends, of course. All right, number 7 is a fun Tailored Expressions Happy Medium. This is an exclusive color that will not be released, so you guys are the only ones that will have this. It is called Teal Shimmer. In the bottle, it looks a little bit blue colored, like a light blue, but when it dries, it has a nice light teal effect to it. Here it is, dried on white cardstock, just so you can see what that shimmer looks like. It's kind of a glossy, we called it a shimmer because it's not a glitter paste. It's more of a glossy shimmer paste. So really fun. We're going to use this later so I can explain more about how to apply it and different ideas that you might do with it. But that is your kind of sample bottle of teal shimmer paste. Something new that we haven't done before. All right, number 8 is up next. Oh, good. Laurel says the See's Candy is hard to find in Canada, so you got something this year then. Okay, I'm just gonna rip it. Okay, does anybody else get to that point when you're just opening gifts and it's time to just rip it? All right. Next up, we have a set of stencils. So you received these 4 3x3 stencils. So it's like a 6x6 stencil that's cut into quarters. And we're going to use this today too, but the idea behind this is that you have your base heart, so your solid heart, and then once you blend that, you can use the pattern hearts either to blend another color over the top, or you can use pastes and gels and those fun things through the patterned stencils as well. So I've created lots of ideas for using these stencils, lots of different mediums you can put on them, and I'm going to show you all of those here in a bit. And with Valentine's Day coming up, we thought these would be super useful in your Valentine's Day crafting. So we kind of try to think ahead as you're, not give you all holiday themed items, Christmas themed items, because that's going to be passed pretty soon. Okay, and number 9. Number 9 coordinates with number 8, so you can probably guess it. We have the heart die that will cut out that solid heart from the stencil set. So once you blend this, or it'll cut out, if you just use the patterned hearts, it will cut out those patterns as well. And then because we had all that extra space in the middle, we put lots of different shaped hearts in the center of that larger heart. So you can use those for little embellishments. I have lots of ideas using these little hearts today. I cut them out of course, a rainbow of colors, which you can see in here, and we'll be using those on a couple of projects here today. So that is a coordinate for number 8, those stencils, and you get this little heart die set that works with those. Pretty fun, right? Okay, what was everybody's favorite so far? Maybe I should ask you now and then at the end too, once you see what we're going to do with all of these things. So I love to hear favorites. Okay, I'm going to show you just a really quick, I mentioned I'd share with you my envelope seals that I created. So I like this tone-on-tone look that you can get with these envelope seals. And so I picked coordinating ink colors and I simply stamped the Share Joy stamp onto them. I have a few tips for how to do this. You'll notice that these don't have the outer paper on them. So here it is pretty hard to see where that die cut line is for the stickers. So my first tip is to, when you're ready to stamp these, just rip off that outer section of sticker paper so you have a better view of where you're stamping your sentiment. If you're curious, the ink colors that I used on mine over here, I have spearmint ink on the green, then I have lemon meringue and peaches and cream. So I'll bring those in frame here so you can see them. We have spearmint, lemon meringue on the yellow, and then peaches and cream on the kind of pinky peach one. So I'm going to do the blue here just a second, and we're going to stamp that with sprinkles. There are probably many other colors that you could try with this as well. And you could also set these up in your MISTI if you're more comfortable with that. I'm just going to do a quick stamp with my acrylic block and my Share Joy. There it is. So pretty. All right. Get these stamped right away and then you can put them in your sticker stash so they're ready to go when you are ready to send a card. There we are. There's all of the options here. The blue, these stickers don't technically match Tailored Expressions colors, but there are some close matches like a mint julep or peaches and cream, the potato chip. This blue is a little bit different than most of our blues, but you can always put it on a white envelope too, and then it doesn't have to match your envelope color. So there we go. Christine's asking, are there plans for new ink colors in 2023? Well, I can't spill that much tea today. That's a ways down the road yet, but in my mind, there's always room for more ink colors and more cardstock colors. So you can always know that I'm thinking about that for sure. Okay, so let's talk about some of the stencil patterns and things that you can do with them. So we're going to create a project here, and I'll kind of show you generally where we're going so that you can follow along a bit better. Sometimes it helps to understand where you're going with the project before you get the final done. So this is not final, nothing is glued down, but this is generally where I'm going, and there we go. You can see everything is still unadhered, but I have my mini slim card base, and we're going to create 3 different hearts with these stencils. I have some of our mini slim sentiment or mini strip sentiments. I knew that didn't sound right. It was coming out of my mouth. Okay, so we are going to use the large heart, the solid heart. I can't call it a large heart because they're all the same size. We're going to use the solid heart first, and we're going to blend them in an ombre kind of color combination in 3 different colorways. So I've got my teal tape here, which I am going to just condition a little bit on my jeans. You can see if I hold it up here, I just stuck it to the back of my jeans, which makes it a little bit less tacky. It comes off of the paper just a little bit easier that way when we're ready to remove it. So just tacking this down on a few sides as we blend it. And I am going to do this in 3, like I said, 3 different colorways. So if you like to write down color combination ideas, then get your pen ready because I've got 3 of them for you. And they will hopefully be useful for Valentine's Day. All right, so there's that teal tape. I think 3 sides should be just fine. I like to leave a little corner of it up so that when it's time to remove it, I'm not picking and peeling at it. We're going to start with the pink and red combo. So I have first strawberry milkshake, and that will go at the top of the heart. And then I have lollipop for the middle portion and watermelon at the bottom. It looks like I did forget my ink stand, but that's okay. I do know how to craft without it. All right, so we'll do a light coat of the strawberry milkshake across the top. And we'll bring in our lollipop next. I love seeing everybody's favorites. Megan, was that you just listing out all of the things? Or no, that was Gina. It's okay. It's hard to choose favorites sometimes. Here's Whitney with my ink stand. I knew you'd hear me.
I know.
It's like I make a call for help, and
I was just getting ready to comment on my favorite.
Oh, what's your favorite?
I love the Dinky decorations.
Oh,
they're so cute.
I know. The more I got to using them, the more ideas I had for them. So yes. Such a small little item that has so many uses. All right, so we'll end up then with the watermelon, and this is going to be at the bottom. So we have that pretty combination from light to dark. This is our pink red version. Okay, so we're going to peel this up now. And I do like to peel slowly. Looks like I got a little pink over there, but that's okay. I tried not to. I'm going to stick this down to my table so that we can use it again. All right. Now comes the conundrum of washing my stencil before we move on to the next color. So I came across something at Target. I'm sure this is not a new thing whatsoever, but it is new to me for cleaning my stencils. I know a lot of people use an isopropyl alcohol spray bottle to clean their stencils, but I found these isopropyl alcohol wipes, and you'll probably see me using them more often, especially in videos, because I need to switch colors more quickly. And the great thing about these is they take that ink off of the stencil, and then the best part is they dry really fast because alcohol evaporates quickly. So it doesn't smell the best, but it does the job when you need a quick clean before moving on. So that is dry and ready to go for the next heart. So we'll just move over here and tape this side down. And Trisha said all of it, and you didn't get an advent calendar. Oh, there will be a couple things in the advent calendar that you see pop up on the Tailored Expressions website, but most of them will remain exclusive to the advent calendar. But we do have a couple of accessory things that you haven't seen yet, unless you've opened your whole calendar. We do have a few things that will be offered, but you haven't seen them yet. So, okay, let's do teal next. How about Taylor's favorite color? So my ombre teal combination is Confetti Cake, Cookie Monster, and Blue Raspberry. You can also do Confetti Cake, Blue Raspberry, and Poblano Pepper. So that's another option if you want to take out the Cookie Monster. We'll start with the Confetti Cake at the top. This color tends to take a little while to build it up, so you might not see it really appear onto my paper for just a second here as I build it up off of the, maybe I need to get myself a new re-inked ink pad for this color. Are the alcohol wipes in a foil package or pop-up? They are pop-up. And I haven't had them for long. I did kind of think about that as I, opened them up. Like, did the pop-up ones dry out faster? Do I need to use them up quickly? I don't think I'll probably have any trouble using them up because I have come to love them in the few short weeks that I've been using them. Okay, so next up we have Cookie Monster. And then we'll finish with the Blue Raspberry. All right. Do the heart stencils fit in the masking square stencils? I do not know. I didn't test that. Maybe if Whitney comes back in here, she can pull out my masking heart stencils, and we can test it out while we're here on the live. It looks very similar. I think the V of this heart here in the center is a little bit more pronounced than it is on the masking stencil, so the shape might not be exactly the same, but potentially we'll find out. All right, so there's our blue heart or teal heart. See if I can save my teal tape to use it one more time. Masking stencil, Whitney.
Yeah.
You're gonna look for it?
I was thinking I was going to try and find that so we can test it.
Okay, before we put that last one down, we're gonna use my alcohol wipe. It still has not quite gone dry yet. Has one more use in it, and then we're gonna do a purple heart. We'll do that one down in this corner here. Oh yes, Lisa bought the individually wrapped alcohol wipes, which we use a lot here as well. I've shared my tip for conditioning your acetate or your infinity shaker panels before making a shaker card, because it takes all the static out of the acetate, and so your shaker bits or sequins don't stick to it. So I do have the individually wrapped ones, and I like those a lot too. Okay. Let's do a purple heart. My purple color combination is macaron, dried fig, and eggplant. So we'll start with the light one again. Oh, I think she wanted the hearts. Oh, hearts. The heart masking stencil. Yeah, to see if the pattern matches.
Got it. Perfect.
Okay, we have our macaron then. All right, let's see what we got here. So here is the masking stencil hearts, and I think I was correct. It is a little bit different shape and size. So you could pattern inside of this one. You can see if I center that, it matches up better with the larger heart in that set. I need a piece of colored paper to put behind it, otherwise we can't see it. Here. So there's what that looks like, and you could definitely do the solid heart in one color and then the pattern over the top. The small one looks to be a little bit too small, but you could do it in the reverse and just have your pattern overlapping the heart too. So some other options. Thanks for bringing that up so we could see if that would work. It looks like it will if you have those masking stencil hearts. Okay, dried fig is coming up next after the macaron. And this one is a pretty intense color, so always better to start with a lighter hand when you're working with those very dark colors, and you can always build up your color, but once it's down, you can't take it back.
Ooh, okay. I got it!
Okay. I guess we're wondering if the actual square of the heart fits in the square masking stencil.
Oh, so the large one.
So there's what that looks like. Not quite. But you could definitely use this to center it on your card panel. So there's even spacing within that opening. Maybe that's what we were asking about. Hopefully.
All the ideas.
Okay. Yeah, Taylor's using purple. We did it. We finished it off. We have our 3 hearts, and now one of the experiments I wanted to do with these, with the teal shimmer paste, was to put it over the top of each of these hearts because it has, it's a little bit translucent, semi-translucent, I would say. So it does show up over the top of other colors, and we're going to do one of the hearts together. And then I'm going to bring in the ones that are dry. They do take about 15 minutes to dry once you have put the paste on. So I did those others ahead of time and have them dried and ready to continue our project so we don't have to wait. So I'll grab that teal shimmer paste, and why don't we do the polka dots? Now I will mention that if you're using the stripes in particular, they're a little bit flimsier because of this longer strip of stencil material without a connection point. So you may want to use a pixie spray, especially on the back of this one. I'm not going to use it on the back of this today because I didn't really find that I needed it, but this pattern does benefit from pixie spray. So first, we're going to place this down over the top. And you can see that solid heart behind, so you can really line up those polka dots within the solid space that you've already blended. And then we're going to grab my teal tape over here. I'm going to use it one more time. Before it finds its way to the garbage. And then I have my Nuvo Media spatula. I love this thing. It's made of silicone. It's very flexible. I like this one with the angled edge. It's nice and easy to get the paste out of whatever size container you have. So we'll just take a little dollop of the paste and we'll pull down from the top. Smooth out that application so we don't have the lines going through our circles. You can even apply it slightly thicker and that'll make it just a little bit more opaque. So I might do that, just throw a little bit more paste on there. I've got a little booger in there. I don't know what that was. All right. I removed the booger.
You can tell you're a mom.
Because I'm not afraid to talk about boogers. Okay, let's remove this. Okay. I'm trying to hold the stencil down because I don't want it to pop up and then fall back down. So try to hold it down until you're ready to remove the whole stencil. Otherwise it can kind of cause bloopers. Now I'm going to get my something because my nails don't go underneath these stencils very well. So I need a little something to help me lift it off the paper. There we go. I'm going to need my stencil washer today, I think. That would be you.
It's my favorite job.
Thank you. All right, let me hold this up into the camera so you can see how that turned out. Of course, it's not dry yet, so I'm going to bring in the 3 that I did ahead of the live and that are currently dry so you can see what those look like. I really like the way the teal turned out with the teal shimmer on it. It is kind of that tone-on-tone effect. And then here is, I did stripes on the pink and red version, and that paste turned a little bit purplish then with the combo of the pink and then the teal made a pretty purple color with the semi-translucent paste. And then we did the purple. Purple's a little bit harder to see, but if you turn it in the light, you can definitely see all the pattern in person. But on the live, I can tell it's a little bit hard to see in the feed, that pattern down in the dark part down here. But that's what the paste looks like dry on all of those 3 colored hearts that we did. So I'm going to move this out of the way so I don't put my hand in it while we're creating, and I can finish off those other hearts later. I do see that I got a little bit of teal paste up at the top of my placemat here, so there. I think that'll work. That'll keep me from, oops, I forgot to give you the palette.
Ooh, got it.
All right, so let's get out the pieces to put this together. I'm going to be using something that released earlier this week, which is our diagonal stitch mini slim stacklets. Bring in my die cut machine and we can cut into this mini slim card base. Like this. There they are. I want the largest of the diagonal stitch mini slim stacklets, and I'm going to center that on my paper here. Use my Scotch tape to hold it down. Okay. Run that through. Cherry asked, do you pretty much wipe all the paste off? Are you talking about kind of scraping it off? I do scrape a lot of the paste off because then you can put it back in your jar and use it on a future project. But I try not to scrape too much because if you're really scraping the paste off, you can kind of get down into the grooves of the stencil openings, and then that removes the paste from down in there. So I don't like a super thin coat of paste, but yes, I do try to remove as much as I can so that I can use it on the next project. Got a little bit of adhesive residue. Can you grab me my adhesive square remover? Mm-hmm. Thank you. Okay, so we've got that diagonal stitch now around the outside just to give a little bit of interest without adding any bulk to this. I really wanted these hearts to kind of speak for themselves in the front of the project, and 3 of them fit nicely across the mini slim size. I'm going to put the teal in the middle, I think. Get this adhesive off. Does everyone have one of these? Because if you don't, buy one or 3. I have 5 because I have them in every drawer in every space of my studio, which has been something Whitney and I have been talking about lately, how since I record my YouTube videos in a different location than I do my live videos, and then Susan and I craft in a different location in the room. So we have basically 3 craft areas, and we need to duplicate all of our supplies to all of the areas. It seems like I'm always looking for something. Okay, no, I liked this better. All right. So 3 hearts across that. Let's get those adhered down. I guess I could do the middle one popped up like this, and then the 2 on the outside down. Maybe we'll do that. Yes, let's do that. Okay. Oh, fun. Is that our Linda Cook is commenting? Is that my mom? Mom, is that you? Or is there another Linda Cook who's commenting? She says, I can't wait to make these for my Valentine's Day tree ornaments, which also sounds like a comment my mom would make because she's always decorating for every holiday. But I'm surprised because she's also told me she doesn't know how to watch my live videos. So let's see if she pops back on and says it's her or not her. Okay. Pink heart over here. Teal heart popped up in the middle. We'll put some foam tape on that. Oh, hi, Mom. She says it's me, goofball. Well, I wasn't expecting you today, so I was surprised.
It's really Mom?
It really is. It really is. Yeah, and Charlie says, it's definitely your mom, Taylor. I can't see the pictures of the people who are commenting, only the names, in case anybody wonders if I don't know what my mom's picture on Facebook looks like. But, yeah. All right.
Mom, we're proud of you for getting on Facebook.
Proud of you today. Yes. All right. Put this guy right here. There we go. Now I have a couple of sentiments. So I stamped these on our new black licorice cardstock. If you missed out on our release on Tuesday, this was our best seller. I think everybody in the crafty world has been searching for that beautiful, intense black cardstock. I did a comparison in the Tuesday video of our Oreo against the new black licorice, and it is amazing. So I stamped this on the new black licorice and embossed it with white embossing powder. And now I'm just going to adhere them down here, and then we're going to use some of those little hearts that we can cut out of the centers and place those kind of over the larger hearts to add just a little something else. So I want this to be popped up, so I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive, and then I'm going to cut a small piece of foam tape so that it will be raised at the same level as that center heart. Tracy says she looked at Mom's Facebook photo and she can tell it's our mom because we look alike.
Aww.
We do look alike. We've been told that for many, many years, which I will gladly look like my mom. All right. Next one, we'll cut another little piece off. For this side of the sentiment, hugs and kisses, happy Valentine's Day is what I'm using for the sentiment. And we'll put those hearts on. Yes, Deneen, you need the black licorice cardstock. Push this one down a little bit. Okay, there we go. Now I'll bring in my little dish of cut hearts here, and I'm gonna grab a purple one. Let's do this purple one maybe. He might be a little bit big. How about a smaller purple one? Doesn't like to move on that paste. It gets a little bit held up there. And then how about a pink one? Maybe down here. Could even do a few like black drip drops to draw the black in. I have some here. I was going to use them on another project, but if we put a couple of black drip drops down here. Cute. I dropped the one I was going to use, but that one's a little big. Thank you. We'll get in a little bit closer here. Cherry, you ask a good question that I don't know the answer to. Is black licorice out of stock or still available?
Ooh, I'll go check.
I don't know. If it's out of stock, I do know we already reordered it. So shouldn't be hopefully too long before we get it back in stock again. Can't find that one size that I want. Here we go. That size. Then maybe the big one can go up here with this guy. Yes, I like it. Okay, let's adhere it before it moves. Got my Embelly Jelly. Have you guys seen the glue I've been using today? So this is our brand new. This is from Nuvo. It's the Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive. And the thing that I love about this is you can buy a fine line tip for it. So these fine line tips are sold separately. They fit on both the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive or the regular size Nuvo bottles. So the Nuvo Deluxe is just a bigger bottle of the same adhesive, but I have been loving this tip that's on here. So I've been using this Nuvo glue a little bit more than my previous favorite, which was always the Tombow Mono glue. And as long as I can remember to cap it, then I'm good. That's, I think, the main reason why I like the Tombow glue is because if I leave the cap off, it's not too difficult to unclog. And some of the other glues that are out there, you leave the cap off one time and you can kiss that glue goodbye. Here, I better hold this one instead of using the Embelly Jelly. Got a little, I'm gonna try and find maybe I like that heart that's a little bit more doodly, so I was gonna try and find maybe a teal heart to go over here. I think I like that a little bit better. Okay. Jamie, that's exactly what Susan says. So Jamie says she loves the Nuvo because it's not sticky on your fingers like the Tombow. And that is the reason why Susan doesn't like the Tombow either. If you get it on your fingers, it is sticky. All right, so there is our first card. Cute, right? Do you like it? Can you see yourself making something like this with the hearts? Of course, you went to a lot of work to create these, so you could just use one heart on a project. I'm going to show you some other examples because, like I said, I had so much fun playing with these hearts and the patterns and the different mediums that you can put on them. So let me bring in some of I haven't had a chance to make them all into cards, but I have lots of inspiration for you to get ideas for creating projects. So these three hearts are kind of some different options. This one, I just took the pattern and I stenciled the pattern on top of guava cardstock with watermelon ink and then die cut it with the coordinating die. This one, I tried putting the paste, the teal shimmer paste over the top of fruit punch cardstock. I did not like how it dried. It just didn't have any vibrancy to it. And so I decided to see if I could foil it. So I put a piece of foil over the top and guess what? The teal shimmer is foilable also. So if you get a pattern that you tried something and you didn't like it, you can throw a piece of foil over the top and send it through your Mink machine and it will foil beautifully. I used I think this was turquoise foil on this one. Then another option, we have this one. This idea actually came from Jamie. So she was playing with her advent calendar and texted me earlier this week. She did a beautiful pattern. You'll have to share it on the fan page. It's one of our older stencils called Poinsettia and Pine, but I did it with the heart stencil here, and I just used the teal shimmer paste and then covered it with sugar cube glitter. It's hard to see in person, but gosh, that is so sparkly and pretty. It's an iridescent glitter, so it's a little bit translucent, so you can still see the color of that teal shimmer behind it. I stamped this background piece with our diamond, I forget the name of that. Diamonds background, something about diamonds. Diagonal diamonds. Yes. Okay, thank you. And I thought that would look cute with these 3 kind of coordinating hearts on them. And I have some sentiments cut out. I think I left them over on the table over there. Oh, yeah. Some sentiments from our Love and Hugs set. And I thought one of those could just pop down in the bottom corner here. Here they are. So maybe sending love, or I especially like the You Are Loved. I cannot pick anything up with these nails. Okay, You Are Loved kind of down in the corner would look really pretty. So there's another option that has 3 different hearts on it for Valentine's Day. Then some others that I just have kind of random hearts that I created. I showed you guys the one that is just the teal shimmer paste on white cardstock. So that's what that looks like. Then we have, because I can't help myself, we have a couple of rainbow options here. So on the left, I did each stripe a different color, and then I put our Happy Medium iridescent glitter paste over the top. So it looks like a sugared candy rainbow heart. This one, I blended the solid heart in a rainbow color combination, and then I took the striped stencil over the top and I blended black ink over that to get the black and rainbow striped heart. So lots of different things you can do with these hearts. Now I also had fun playing with the little hearts that come in between the dies, or in the middle of the large heart. So we connected these all together for you because I don't know about you, but in my craft room, pieces this small are easily lost. So we made them fit in the center of this heart and just connected them all together. But because they're connected, you can do some fun things with them like this. So I cut that connected heart piece out of white cardstock 3 times, and then I popped it up over the top of rainbow foil. So you can see a rainbow foil through the back of those die cut pieces. And then I just added a Happy Valentine's Day, a glossy black frame. And then of course, I'm gonna have to add some drip drops in here at some point around the sentiment. Something like this. Of course, my fingers don't wanna work right now, but. So yes, I'll be adding a few little black drip drops throughout that. But there's another idea that you can do with those little hearts in the middle of the big heart. So many great ideas. Cherry asked, can we post things we make with the Advent contents tomorrow through day 9? You can. Yep. You are now able to post them because we have told everybody that the live is happening, and at least I think that's what we agreed on. I don't know. Maybe Charlie knows different. Have you been telling people not to post things? Is that why I haven't seen any yet? I know some people aren't able to open the gifts on the days that they're happening, but I think for the most part, people are keeping up with things, and we're not sharing them earlier than what they were intended to be opened. Okay, let's do something with Dinky decorations now. So I'm going to grab my pieces that I've kind of pre-cut and started so we can move through this fairly quickly. I'll show you where we're going so you can get this in your head. We are going to create this cute little card using the Dinky decorations. And as I mentioned, it was originally designed and kind of concepted as a set that could decorate your envelopes. So here's what it looks like, kind of stamped up in the top left of that envelope. Obviously, that might not work great if you're mailing it and you need to put your return address up there. But if you're gifting a card, you could decorate it all across the front and write the name. You could even put it on the back flap of the envelope as well. So that was the original concept for this. But as I've been playing with it, I found that there are just so many different uses for this tiny little set. So I'm just going to do this with an acrylic block. I find that to be easier than moving and shifting in my MISTI, but you do you. So if you feel really more comfortable in your MISTI, then definitely do that. We're going to use this in the opposite direction. So instead of creating a hanging decor, we're going to move up from the bottom and treat these like stems. I have my VersaFine Clear ink. Oh yeah, that's true. Jamie says you can put the return address on the back so the front of your envelope can be fancy. All right. Just try to get kind of even spacing as you go down the row with these. So there are my stems. If I wanted to, I could use the tiny little flower stamp that comes in the Dinky Decorations set. Like I did on this piece, I haven't made this into anything yet, but here's what it looks like with the tiny little flowers. I added a couple of little hearts on the stems, but what I'm gonna do here is take all of my little pieces that I die cut, and we're gonna create a rainbow heart garden. We'll start actually with pink, I think. Come here, pink. I like to get these all set out first and make sure I like the arrangement before I start adhering them down to anything. So we'll do red next. Pink, red, orange. We'll do yellow. And I think it's okay if they overlap a little bit. We have green next. Whoop. And then we have teal. And purple. Let's do this cute doodly one in purple. Start again with pink. Ooh, tree branches coming from the sides. You have a baby card like a mobile. Yes. I saw a similar idea like that I thought was super cute. So you could use the moon and the stars and the clouds for a cute baby card. You guys are coming up with all the ideas. So many things you could do. Okay. Orange again. Yellow. And we'll finish off with my favorite heart, the doodly one. Okay, so I'll use my Embelly Jelly again to get these adhered down. You could pop a few of them up if you wanted to spend the extra time doing that. Probably if I wasn't, trying to move this along, I would maybe pop up a few of the larger ones throughout the background. But for now, we'll be good just adhering them down to the card. So what does everybody's weekend look like? Fun plans? Christmas shopping, maybe? We have something a little bit unique happening tonight. So our younger daughter, Charlie, she won a contest at school. And the prize for the contest was to have the fire department in Ankeny deliver pizza to your house. And so they are doing that tonight. She's having a friend over and cousins are coming. And so the contest that she won at school was actually an artwork contest. So the kids got to draw something that represented the fire station. And then their artwork got turned into a window decal, and if it was chosen as the winner, it gets turned into a window decal, and the fire truck puts that artwork on the fire department puts that artwork on their fire truck. So the fire truck that features her artwork is coming to deliver pizza tonight. And I think that she's pretty excited about it. And I think that's pretty cool, that we'll get to see her artwork on a fire truck. All right, so there is our little heart garden. We need some leaves on there, so I'm going to grab that little leaf. The little leaf has been my most used stamp yet so far, so don't lose it. Find a spot to put these little guys in, because they can escape quite easily. Oh, you're going to watch it snow, lots of Christmas parties. Yeah, stay home and craft. Okay, so I'm going to bring back my VersaFine Claire. And we'll just stamp these leaves throughout the background then. Kind of varying which side of the stem they're on and how high you put them so that there's a good variety. Okay. I'll hold it up a little closer so you can see how that turned out. Super fun. You could put some glitter paste on here, or like Stickles glitter glue or something to make these sparkly. You could dip them in sugar cube glitter. That would be fun. That's what Heather would do if she was creating this card. Okay, then for the sentiment, I embossed this with our pink Lollipop Sparkle embossing powder. And for those of you who did not get the bundle for Black Friday that included that embossing powder, it will be available soon, which is why I used it today, so we don't have to have any sadness.
No tears
shed. It will be part of our regular catalog. So, all right. So I'm adhering that down to a vellum circle, and then I'm just going to tuck these little clouds kind of underneath the vellum, and then I'll end up popping that up. A really sweet little thank you card. It could make a perfect get well card. It could also be a thinking of you, or just a sending love or hugs. Here's one of those sentiments from the Love and Hugs set that could be cute on there as well. And then to finish it off, we have one of our A2 thin frame stacklets. And what I did was kind of just pulled it. I didn't want to cover up my pattern at the bottom, so I placed it over the top where I wanted it, and then I took my scissors and just trimmed it right above the heart on each side. And then we can remove that bottom part and still get a little bit of that breakup of the white space across the top. So here's what my actual finished card looks like. So we did a lot of things today, right? Woo! And there are so many more that you can experiment with. So much fun to have with these items. I hope you enjoy opening the next 7. I can't wait to join you next week. We can do another project together. I'll just bring in all the goodies today. Lots of inspiration to keep you busy with these little items from your advent calendar. So now that you've seen everything, do we have a new favorite, or is our favorite the same? The same favorite? Okay. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in today, for joining me for our special Advent Calendar Live. I will see you again on Tuesday. We have a fun card making kit releasing. So typically we do those the last week of the month, but everybody's going to be so busy with Christmas and New Year's celebrations, and so we have moved that to next week. So if you love our card making kits, make sure you get on for that limited edition card making kit on Tuesday, and I will be live at 10 o'clock again. So hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.